Dan Illman, Mike Buer taking a look at race number 11 at Kentucky Downs on Sunday. It's the $400,000 Music City Stakes for 3-year-old fillies. Let's take a peek at this field. Big name expected to enter this race. That's the number 10 Kamari for Wesley Ward, coming off that bang-up runner-up effort against Group 1 competition at Royal Ascot last time out. She's good on dirt. She's good on turf. She fits very, very well against these kind of horses.
Oh yeah, she's very, very tough in a race like this with her good race day. And we'll see if she runs it. If she does, 3-1 on the morning line is probably a gift.
There's a big field in this race, and there's going to be likely a lot of speed going 6.5. And as we take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector, we see some of the speeds in here. The number 4, Brayden Berry. I would expect Brayden Berry to show good speed. I would also expect the number 12 to show some speed as well. I think, though, that a horse like Kamari is very versatile. Kamari doesn't need to be in mid-pack. If the number 10 wants to be closer, she can. Personally, I think the 12, Hear My Prayer, makes the top.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she came out running. Dan, I'll also just say, I know she's cutting back in distance and switching surfaces here. I think the 1, Lucrative, is going to be closer too.
Let's talk a little bit about Lucrative, because most folks remember her for her exploits on the dirt. She's had a very nice year on dirt. Stakes winner at Tampa, second to Swiss Skydiver in the Gulfstream Oaks, and then in some tough spots in her last 2 races. Her turf debut at Keeneland was very, very good when she went on a fast pace on the lead and won. And then in the Stewart Manor Stakes, talk about a fast pace, she just got cooked that day.
Yeah, that was a big fast pace there in the Stewart Manor, and it went to closers, and she really paid the price contesting that thing. So she ran okay that day. Her turf debut, though, it came back fast. She had an easier time on the lead that day, but it was a fast race and just her second career start. I think she's at least mildly interesting coming back to the surface.
Outburst won the first 2 starts of her North American career for Eddie Keneally. Then at Churchill Downs in the Tepin, she ran into Sharing, who's very, very good. I was still a little bit disappointed how badly she tired in the stretch. I guess she had the excuse last time out of the yielding ground, but I have to be honest, I'm a little concerned about her recent form. I think cutting back is a very interesting move, however.
Yeah, I thought cutting back was very interesting for her too. And I'm with you. I don't love her last 2 races, although she ran better last time at Indiana Grand. I thought her first 2 starts were both legitimately good, though. She was very convincing first time over here in that allowance win, and then she wired the Florida Oaks. I don't know. I like her cutting back in this race, and she's going to be a price.
Mom's Red Lipstick, the number 3, is a stakes winner on synthetic, and she won her turf debut last time out when dangled for a $75,000 claiming tag. She got a very fast opening quarter to deal with. That race went to closers. Mom's Red Lipstick was one of the closers, and it wasn't a great group she beat. She's going to have to do better.
Yeah, going to have to improve by a lot to go with these horses. I really respect her trainer, Dan. I just couldn't talk myself into her at all in this race.
Brayden Berry scored 2 starts back at Belmont in the Lady Shipman. She got right up close to the pace that day. I thought it was a good performance, beating a couple of these rivals last time out in the Coronation Cup. Again, she showed good speed. She tired a little bit. I think she can be forwardly placed in here. Timeform US has her on the lead. And 6.5, I guess that's a bit of a question mark. My gut says she can get it.
Yeah, I didn't worry as much about the distance. I just wonder if she's really good enough. Dan, she has the race 2 back. I guess that would give her a chance in here. She just got a perfect trip that day, where some of the others in that race did not get very good trips. And other than that, I can't say that I love any of her races.
Enola Gay, the number 5, showed an explosive burst to win her career debut over this Kentucky Downs course and distance last year. She won the Appalachian 2 starts back. Her first start off a long layoff. She had a really nice trip for most of the way, and she just looked dead in the water at the 8th pole, and she somehow was able to get up and win that race. And I thought that the additional distance of the Saratoga Oaks would work to her advantage, and yet again I was wrong, because she had a very good trip prompting the winner Antoinette, and there was just nothing in the tank turning for home.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very conflicted about this filly right now, Dan. I really liked her debut. I know it's her only start over this turf course and at this distance. So I guess that, sort of makes me want to leave her open. I just don't like any of her 3 races since then. And that includes the Appalachian, where I still don't know how she won that race. Maybe cutting back will really work for her, Dan. I agreed with you. I felt like more distance would help her, but maybe she just doesn't want it.
Let's watch the aforementioned Coronation Cup, a race won by She's My Type. She's My Type's in the black cap, in behind horses in the teal silks. She's going to squeeze through this really tight hole in between horses, and she still has work to do. Shippy's a fast horse on the lead, but once she's clear, She's My Type. You couldn't stop Clement at this point.
Yeah, he was on a real roll at this point, and this is just another one of those horses who got through that tight hole. She had a good trip up until that point, got through it, and then accelerated to the front. I thought she ran well there. I thought Miss J Mckay, who was closing for second right alongside her, I thought she ran well in that race. I think they're both contenders right back in this race.
I think She's So Special is getting the turn back in distance that she craves. She won 2 sprints in a row prior to her last start, the San Clemente. It was a race in which she faced a very promising 3-year-old filly in Laura's Light. She was up close to a solid pace against a good field. That third place finisher came back to run third in the Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks with an 84. I think she's a sleeper candidate in here with Pratt aboard.
I agree. I like her cutting back for this race. She's won her last 3 sprints on turf. She has a good running style for this race where she doesn't need the lead, but she's not going to be outrun, and she's going to be a price for a very dangerous trainer.
Like Lucrezia, the number 8 Finite is best known for her work on dirt, but just watch her one and only turf outing. It was this race at Kentucky Downs last year. It was her maiden win for Steve Asmussen. She is on the lead, and she is in cruise control at the quarter pole.
Yeah, she won this race really impressively. She was obviously really good on dirt, but this race shows that she can handle turf just fine. I mean, she buried this field in her only start on the grass. After this, obviously, she went on to do some really good things stretched out on the main track. I wanted to say, Dan, that you kind of want to make her do this again, because at this time, even her dirt form was good. So switching to turf and handling it maybe doesn't mean as much, but you know what? She really has only run one bad race on dirt, and that was the last one we saw. Maybe that layoff did her some good.
And that was a race that preceded ankle surgery. She would have been one of the favorites for the Kentucky Oaks if she kept on down the road. Winner of 4 more races in a row after that turf race we just saw. Finite, a really interesting spot for Asmussen off the injury-induced layoff. Let's watch Lighthouse, a true closing sprinter that would benefit from a fast pace up front. Lighthouse is going to rally for second in the Daisy Cutter handicap. She's on the outside in the yellow cap, and she's going to come with a good run. This horse on the lead just got the jump on her. She gets beat a neck.
I mean, she ran well in this race. I liked this race, Dan, just because it showed that she could do it a different way from off the pace, which she hadn't shown prior to that. I mean, her other turf sprints, she was always right up there, either on the lead or dueling. 2 starts back off the layoff. That was only a 4-horse field, but she was up there contesting it almost the entire way before she prevailed. I like that she showed a new dimension last time.
Here's Kamari, the number 10, the horse to beat. She ran so well last time out in the Commonwealth Cup at Royal Ascot. She didn't break very well. She was a game second behind a horse that's come back to run 3 times now and has placed twice in Group 1 competition. She's run well from on the lead, from off the pace. She has a really strong turn of foot. And if she runs her race from last time, she's likely going to win. I don't think we're seeing 3-1, though.
Yeah, I don't think so either. She's just way the horse to beat based on what she did on this surface as a 2-year-old and obviously what she did last time at Royal Ascot. I mean, personally, Dan, I'm very interested to see her get another shot on dirt. But that's neither here nor there at this point. They scratched out of a race at Saratoga closing weekend to run here for a lot of money, and they probably made the right move. She's supposed to be very, very tough in here.
I'm a huge fan of the 11, Miss J Mckay. I thought she had a little bit of trouble in the Ladies Shipman, where she was in a bit tight in between horses in the stretch and finished third. And we saw her rally wide in the Coronation Cup to finish second behind She's My Type. So she's in good form right now. And she's another horse that I think can be a little bit closer than when Timeform US has her on the pace projector. I think she's adaptable to any scenario.
Yeah, she's one of the horses I want to use with Kamari in here. I thought she ran fine off the layoff. A race that it looked like she might have needed, and she didn't get a great trip, and she was just sort of wide and off the pace all the way last time. We'll see. She's going to need the right trip in here, Dan, but I think she's taken a step forward as a 3-year-old, and I just think she's underrated.
Hear My Prayer hasn't been headed from 3 true turf sprints. The only time she's lost on the turf was a 2-turn, 7.5 furlong race. Let's watch her most recent effort, the Melody of Colors. This race all the way back in March. Hear My Prayer, this is what she is. She's pure early speed, and she's just going to dare you to catch her. And she goes gate to wire here with a respectable buyer speed figure. And if you don't believe the 4, Brayden Berry has her gas, and I'm not sure she does. I think Hear My Prayer is simply the fastest horse in this race. She's the one to catch. 6.5 could be an issue.
Yeah, it's not an easy spot for her. Off a layoff, all 3 of her good turf sprints are at 5 furlongs. Now she's got to go 6.5, and she might have to go fast to boot. I just like all of her races. And I actually think she's talented, and I think there's still room to improve for her. She's an interesting horse at a very big price.
Top pick time for the Music City Stakes, race number 11 at Kentucky Downs on Sunday. We're both going with Kamari in here. She's simply the horse to beat off the races we've seen, whether it's dirt or turf or on the lead or from off the pace or from North America or from overseas. I'm going 10, 6, 11, 9. You're going 10, 2, 12, 11.
Yeah, I think Kamari's too good for them. I'm just going to try and use prices with her, Dan. I'm going to use Outburst down towards the inside, cut and back. I'm going to use Hear My Prayer, the big speed horse who has to get 6.5. I'm going to use Miss J Mckay as well.
Kamari, very, very dangerous in this race. And it'll be interesting to see where Wesley Ward goes with her if she escapes this successfully. Is it the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint going 7? Is it the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint turning back in distance? 10, 6, 11, 9 for me, 10, 2, 12, 11 for Mike in the Music City Stakes.